What's up guys, this is a week 9 of documenting my life and developing a fashion collection here in Amsterdam. If you are new here, welcome, my name is Sam, I'm studying fashion here in Amsterdam. It's actually Saturday today, so this week's vlog is gonna be a little different from the other ones, since I'm just gonna sit here basically and recap the whole week for you guys. So hopefully it's still interesting to look at and hope you guys have fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna put my laptop here with all my files and all my footage. Monday was a day before the fitting. I had the fitting on Tuesday, and my goal for this fitting was to have the first two looks. I'm making three looks for you guys that didn't know. These three looks consist out of 8 garments, and my goal for this fitting that was on Tuesday was to have 7 out of 8 garments done. I mean, in samples, of course. We are still working in the sample fabrics, and we are gonna move on to the final fabrics later on. Yeah, first we have to have the samples done, right? So, seventh garment, which I wanted to have ready for the fitting, I did on Monday. It was a shirt that David is going to wear, really oversized, relaxed shirt with 2 plackets that you can alter by yourself, however you desire. Bigger cuffs, slightly exaggerated sleeve placket, and a back pleat on the sleeve next to the sleeve placket. So yeah, I guess I will just drop the footage now. This is me making a shirt, drawing the pattern, cutting it out of the fabric, sewing it all together step by step. On Monday, I've managed to finish basically the whole base of the shirt without the cuffs and the collar. Tuesday was the day of the fitting, so I had the fitting at around 2 p.m. So I had to finish the collar and the cuffs before that. So the whole kind of morning, I was just working on it. I actually don't have any footage from there, but I do have some footage from the fitting, which is this.
Like a styling thing, and then also with sleeves for the third silhouette. So because I have Miu Miu, I want to work with layering and interesting texture, and this is like part of it. I managed to change the neckline, and I think I like it without like...
Możesz, keď chceš, alebo ja ti to má ako nie je to ľahké.
A video?
Sa mi nezmestia. Pozrite, dám mi
Nejde.
Pozri.
Let's just hand that, yeah. He looks great.
Yeah. Guys, today I smoked 7 cigarettes in my work job, did 0 work, and got into a little sexual contact with this baddie.
You.
But the boss doesn't like it at all.
Nope. I need to actually cancelled. Fired our boss.
Yeah, to recap the fitting I think went really well. It was just a fitting with our technical teacher because our design teacher unfortunately couldn't come. I just had a couple questions about each of the looks. So basically, just to recap it also for you guys, this is the look number 1. Is this one. This one is gonna be worn by Adela. A shirt, a bomber jacket, and a skirt. The newest piece is the skirt that you haven't seen yet. It's basically just basic elongated skirt featuring the bias tape. This detail with the bias tape is gonna be featured all throughout the collection and on all bottom pieces in the collection, so all pants, skirts, etc. It's kind of like an element which is featured all throughout, so it ties the collection together and makes it even more uniform, which of course I'm going for. Same detail as this one is also a collar, for example, that all of my collars have split in them for a specific reason, which I have explained before actually. So if you just go watch a few vlogs back, or I'm gonna try to like feature it here so it like pops up here, so you guys can click on it and see like what is my concept and how I'm reimagining my uniforms and stuff. so I don't have to like talk about it in each vlog. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, just go check out that video. It's all explained there. Anyway, so the skirt is a basic skirt with a split on the side. It has another skirt layered on top of it, which is unfortunately not visible since the shirt is so long. So I'm gonna elongate this top skirt so it has nice layering effect in the look. The shirt and the bomber jacket, hope you guys have already seen, but if you haven't, here it is. Here's also some pictures of the shirt that she's wearing. And then we can move on to the second look. I'm really happy with this one. I'm also happy with the first one, by the way. I just want to elongate the top skirt and also maybe the bottom skirt a bit. And I think from the final fabric it's gonna look pretty nice. The second look though, this is kind of a suit and tie uniform, my alteration of suit and tie uniform. This look is gonna be worn by Hannah. It features a pair of pants, a blazer, and a shirt. Really happy with how this looks. For this one, I just want to change a couple details like relocate the pocket that is on the side. This is kind of what I have communicated with my teacher on the fitting. How can I do this? How can I finish the dart so it goes kind of until the hem, and therefore I can kind of place the pocket wherever I like. Yeah, also the shoulder. The shoulder wasn't really laying nicely because the shoulder pad I've put in might be a bit big or maybe a bit wide for her shoulder. So I just have to kind of try to trim the shoulder pad to her size and steam it so it's shaped a bit more like a shoulder and less like wide and straight. Then there's the pants with a skirt, pair of pants layered with a skirt with a bias tape running down the leg. Where the bias tape is running down the leg, there is actually where the skirt kind of overlap. There is an opening for you to get in and out of the pants. And there is also a shirt under the blazer, which unfortunately you cannot see really well, but it is pretty standard fitting shirt. Blind zipper running down the center back. You will also see this by the end of the video because I've moved on with this design a bit further than the other ones. We have a third look, David look. The shirt I've already touched up on. This is the first time. This was actually the first time me seeing him in the shirt since I've just finished it Tuesday morning. First of all, the pictures does not look as the garments does in person. That goes for all of the looks, but especially for this one because I think in the pictures he really looks like kind of a robot, like really boxy. In real life, their shirt really looked nice, oversized, flowy, and kind of a bit too big on him. This was really what I was going for with this look. Right now the shirt is just paired with a classic pair of pants which I had at home. This is not a pair of pants which I made. The only thing I want to fix on this one is I want the collar to be a bit more snug around his neck. And that is also one thing that I want to probably fix on the last look. Anyway, this was kind of the fitting recap, just kind of like an update. Most of the samples were in a state where I wanted them to be, and I could move on to the realization phase where I make the garments out of actual fabric. But before that, I still needed to make the sample pants for David, because that was the last garment which is missing. Okay, so Wednesday. On Wednesday, I just had a PPT class in the morning. It was mainly about like building our professional portfolio for like our future internships and work and stuff, which is really important for like the future. But right now, I just want to kind of like focus on the topic of designing the collection and not go further detail in the portfolio making and stuff. Yeah, so Wednesday I just had that class, and later on I just bought a basic trousers pattern in size 48. That was the smallest size they had in the shop. As soon as I opened the pattern, I just knew it was too big, so I just measured it, and the waist was just like 10 to 15 centimeters bigger than we actually wanted. So, and here comes actually the crazy part where I was like, okay, I don't really have time for this, I guess, but the only option that is left is to actually make the pattern from scratch. Either I alter this big pattern, which I think would cause even more complication than actually drafting a new pattern, or I draft a new pattern. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I just pulled out my pattern book and starting to write down David's measurements, which is actually pretty like similar to mine. And actually, since I have drafted a pattern for Hannah's pens, Hannah's measurements was also there. And yeah, as you could see in the fittings, Hannah is a lot smaller than I am, and David, she's like 160 centimeters tall. We're like 177, and of course, like the proportions are a bit different, right? So I started to write down all of our like measurements and stuff, and when I like wrote down the waist and like the hips and stuff, I actually noticed that there's, for some reason, I have no idea how, but the measurements aren't so different. So I was like, okay, I have made this one prototype pair of pants when I was making the samples for a pair of pants for Hannah, and I still have it. It's just a really the most basic pair of pants you can imagine. Since the measurements are pretty similar, let's just like try on the sample and see how it fits. If it fits, like it's probably not gonna fit, like, but we'll see. I put it on and it fit. But yeah, it fits me just like this. It's just like perfect. Like there's no major adjustment have to be made. It's just a bit too high on the waist, but that's just like lowering the waist. That has nothing to do with altering the actual pattern. Anyway, I was just really happy about this. So the only thing I had to do was alter the pattern according to the design idea I had for the pants. Unfortunately, my phone died, so I cannot use this microphone anymore since it's just plugged into the port where my charger is, right? So I hope you guys still like can hear me well, and the audio isn't gonna be like super fucked up, but hopefully not. So Thursday. On Thursday, I had a print class in the morning where we did so-called eco printing. It is kind of a really specific method of printing where you are like not really using any ink or any strong chemicals, so it is like pretty sustainable, but it also has a pretty like strict boundaries that you can only print with plants, basically. So you need two pieces of cotton fabric for this process. Um, Both of them, you just put them in water, soak them in for like a few minutes, then you take them out. One of these fabrics you put in this solution, and the other you put in one of these solutions. Then you take them out. You just kind of lay the fabric on a plastic sheet. Then you put some plants in the middle, and you cover it with the other fabric from the other bucket. Then you roll it together with the plastic sheet, and then tie it all together with like a string. Then you put this roll, I guess, in a actual like steamer for like a dumplings, and you put it in like yeah, a pot with the water, so it steams actually in the steamer for an hour and a half. Then you take it out after 1 hour and a half. You untangle the string, roll it out, take the plants off, and the result is kind of this really natural looking abstract print, which yeah, can be really interesting. It's pretty inconsistent, of course, because you are not like directly, it can be of course pretty inconsistent because you like never really know how it will actually like come out. Yeah, I guess it was fun experiment, but it wasn't something that I would use in this collection. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. While I was actually waiting for the waiting for the fabrics to steam in the pot. I've burnt out another screen for screen printing, which I would like to use eventually for my final garments. And two of my shirts, one of which is the one that Adela is going to be wearing, and the other is David is going to be wearing. Both of these are going to be striped. The stripes are going to be really subtle and monochrome, so nothing really like poppy and like contrasting in colors. Okay, so actually we are back on the headphones since the iPhone charged a bit. Yeah, so I've made a striped screen. The frame was a bit crooked, unfortunately, but there was just nothing I could do about it. Basically, it was the only option I had, so I just gotta work with it. And yeah, put the emulsion on it, put it in this heated drawer so it heats so it dries a bit quicker. Then I've burnt it out, and washed out the screen. And this is the result of it. And yeah, probably gonna print with it next week, most likely. Later that day, I've just traced the pattern for David's pants, and yeah, just adjusted the pattern according to the design I had in my mind, drew all the pockets and everything. On Friday, I started to make the first final garment of my collection, finally. This was a shirt for Hannah. I thought it was the best to start with this one, since this is the one where there is no print on it, so I don't have to print the fabric beforehand before constructing the garment. I just can start with it, and I'm just happy with how it fits, all the design elements. I'm just pretty happy with the sample garment, so I just went for it and yeah, started making the first garment out of final fabric. So right now we're actually getting to the point which I've mentioned earlier, that he will see the blind zipper on the center bag later on in the video. This is the point where you will see it. So yeah, basically I'm using 100% cotton tyke fabric, which is kind of like a more structured cotton poplin fabric. And yeah, there's a zipper on the center bag, nicely finished, and bias tape and everything. Also, shoulder seams and side seam are French seamed, so no overlocking, no raw edges, just clean finishing, you know. Did the sleeves, so the sleeves are hemmed. There is sleeve placket on it, and also the tunnel for the ribbon, so you can tighten the sleeve and make it more gathered. That basically all I have managed to do yesterday, and I'm gonna finish the shirt on Monday for sure. So if you guys want to see the final shirt, definitely tune in next week. And yeah, really happy with how it's coming out. And yeah, today, Saturday, right now I'm just working on constructing the sample for David's pair of pants. So I'm doing this at home, since for the sample it is completely okay to just use the home machine instead of the industrial one. Since the school is closed, since it's Saturday, I'm doing it at home. And yeah, I have just cut out all the pattern pieces from the fabric. I'm gonna try finish it today. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this vlog, give it a like, comment, share it with a friend, subscribe, put the bell on so you don't miss the upcoming vlogs. And yeah, hopefully you didn't mind the format of this one. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. And yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.